Hi, and welcome back to Pokemon Blue. It's episode 10, and today we take on the upper deck of the ship. And then after that, the gym. And then we're done with this, city. This Vermilion City. Can I get any more awkward? Well, we get to go out to the front of the ship. We're outside right now. Isn't that exciting? Not as exciting as this battle's gonna be. He's nothing special. Once again, I'm kind of having difficulties even thinking about what to do with these trainer encounters. Like, on the one hand, I can understand not wanting to watch them. But on the other hand, they are kind of a part of the game. Separate from random encounters. Like, random encounters are one thing, but I don't know. Pokemon's a weird JRPG like that. You know, a lot of JRPGs, you know, you have your world map and you have random encounters and boss fights, but this is such a different case because you're wandering around trying to find all these trainers to battle. So it's just kind of a different style, I suppose. Well, that and you have a completely customizable team. It's what makes Pokemon great, though, right? It's the depth of customization you can have on your team. Like, yeah, I said that there are only 150 things to choose from, like that was some small number. And it kind of is when compared, especially compared to later gens, but, you know, it kind of is still simply by how that 150 is achieved. But there's still 150 things to choose from. It's just, if you're looking for in-game balance, then it's not that very many. But I mean, you don't even necessarily need to be in for balance. Like, a single player, just use whatever you want. Just because I'm anal about a fairly balanced lineup doesn't mean you have to be. I haven't always been. It's actually kind of fun to do single type runs. You know, restrict yourself to the same type, like you were some sort of gym leader or something. But it actually makes the game a lot more fun in some cases, if you're looking for a harder time, which I was not this time. I don't know, there's a lot of Pokemon games, like there's at least 3 in each generation. So I suppose if I ever get interested in doing challenge runs, that could be a thing I do. You never know. This guy hasn't seen any Pokemon sleeping quite like this one. And it's a Snorlax. That thing that was blocking the road earlier. Yeah, it's one of the best Pokemon in this game. And it's really good in later gens too. I don't really like Snorlax. I don't care. I think it's just kind of dumb. But a lot of people like it, and it's really good in this generation. Like, in my honest opinion, I'd say it's tied for best normal type with Tauros, which is a bull. And it just depends on what you're looking for. Snorlax can take them hits and learn some fairly decent moves, and Tauros can give them hits and learn some fairly decent moves. It's all about what you want to do. Oh no. It's that moment when you're on the opposite side of the wrap. And he's faster than you. Well, luckily the computer AI is in charge, so I don't actually get rap spammed. And of course, the they would change how Rap works in Gen 2. Because at least there you can still attack while being wrapped. Actually makes Rap a whole lot more worthless. Like, it's a useless move after Gen 1, but in Gen 1 it's... oh man, it's a nightmare. Like, I don't know how I would go about balancing it. Because how they did balance it, you know, made it useless. You know, how do you go from annoyingly overpowered to something that isn't useless? I don't know. I don't know what to do there. Well, maybe up the damage a little bit, and then prevent switching. You still let them attack, but you prevent them from switching out. Maybe that would do. I don't know. I'm no game designer, so I haven't quite thought it through. I've never tried to balance Rap. It just kind of came to my mind just now, as we were beating up a fisherman and a gentleman. See, this is me playing normally. As soon as all my dudes are at kind of a comparable level, I just start swapping them out in the order in which I got them. I just prefer order and organization like that. Makes things easier on me. This guy wants to know if we like a strong or a rare Pokemon. Well, I like strong and rare Pokemon. I suppose I'll take a strong Common. I suppose I'll take a, well, no, I won't want to use a weak rare thing. Those are useless. But, I mean, I prefer my rare Pokemon to be strong. You know, why can't I have both? Besides, you're using a Growlithe, and I suppose in Pokemon Blue that is pretty rare, considering it's version exclusive to Red. But then you followed up with a Ponyta, and those aren't exactly rare, so I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he hasn't actually found anything rare. Because Growliths aren't exactly rare, it's just that I can't find them in the wild in this version. And it survived with a Pixel. Don't worry, we're almost done with this stupid ship. And he salutes us. And I believe if you talk to him again, he talks about how he likes strong and rare Pokemon. So, he's of the same mentality as me, I suppose. But then why'd he ask in the first place? Maybe it was to get in the third answer that I gave him, I don't know. We're so far ahead. But it is the first game. I suppose they wouldn't have known what level you would have been. Or maybe they expected you to just always have a full team of 6. Yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, we've run into enough by now that we could have had a team of 6, it's just I don't like doing that. I prefer planning my team out ahead of time and collecting them each at the earliest possible moment. Which has never resulted in me having 6 by this point in the game. And we find a rare candy. Oh yeah, here we go. He prefers strong and rare Pokemon. And she adores my strong Pokemon. I adore my strong Pokemon too. Safari Zone. So we'll get to that later, and I do go there. Well, in Generation 1 you have to go there. But, oh boy, my trip to the Safari Zone this time was something special. So apparently the captain of this ship is sick. And we'll have to find something out about that, but I'm going to go to the Pokemon Center, and I'm not going to use the speed up function, because I did a lot of stuff. I sold some stuff, actually. Ah, but there he is. We finally caught up to Blue again. Now he's gonna fight us. See how we're doing. See, he's already caught 40 different kinds. He's actually trying. He is so the better trainer than us. But of course we're going to win this fight, because you have to, in order to proceed. And his Pokemon aren't nearly as high level as mine, so at least I'm getting my training in, buddy. And just like that, cat eats bird. Well, not yet. I have to beat him for some money first. Cat also eats rat. See what I mean? This little Abra evolved, so it's useful now. Except for that low defense. Man, you see what I mean by the rise of Critty? Wasn't that an apt title? Because now that Critty's no longer ass, he's actually kind of awesome. Of course, it helps that I'm so far ahead, but that's not my fault. It kind of is, I suppose. I did fight all the trainers along the way, but... yeah, at least we're raising ours. The levels speak for themselves. Critty's my lowest level right now, I do believe. I mean, I caught him last, and he was out front, so yeah, that would make him the lowest level. Yeah, so the captain's he's a swords master. He can teach Pokemon how to cut, which would be useful, but he's seasick. Well, might as well look at that. Yeah, shouldn't have looked at that. Have you ever seen somebody puking into a trash can and you just walked up and looked in, you know, just to make sure they were being truthful about it? So now we have a 10-year-old boy rubbing an old man's back in the privacy of that old man's office. I'll just leave that in context for you to figure out yourself. But he gives us HMO1 to teach us cut. But that's what the Sandshrew is for, because I'm not teaching this move to any of my dudes. Even though one of them could learn it. See, the problem with HMs, if you don't know, is you can't delete the move. Like, period. End of story. You can't learn a new move and replace the HM move. For some ungodly reason. Like, HMs are key items, so you can't ditch those. And they are infinite in use. So it's not like you run the risk of accidentally, you know, missing out or getting yourself stuck. Not like that. Granted, there are cases involving the need for an HM move where you can get yourself stuck, but it's not for a lack of the HM that you get yourself in that situation. And you have to try really hard to do it. Like, you have to do it intentionally. Oh well. Oh, it just means HM slaves are a thing. Later gens would implement a move deleter who could do it. You know, if you visit him in the town he's in, he could delete the HMs for you. I still don't get it, though. I don't see why you needed that extra step when you could just replace the move with something you learned. It makes no sense to me. Oh well. Something you just gotta deal with. So welcome to Lieutenant Surge's gym. The electric gym. And we have a ground-type Pokemon, meaning this is the easiest gym in the game. I'm not even gonna go to the Pokemon Center after taking on his lackeys. That's how easy this gym is. You know, typically speaking, I'll take on everybody in the gym, leave, heal up, and then fight the gym leader, but not in this case. Not in the case of Brock either, but, you know, that's a different story. Brock is harder than this for where you fight him in the game, you know, comparatively. And Brock, frankly, could beat this gym himself. I'm sure of it. Maybe not. His stuff is pretty low level, so it just lacks moves. Scratch that. He couldn't beat it, not as is. Because I do believe Lieutenant Surge's stuff has normal type moves to at least fight back. Don't quote me on that, I don't know for sure. This dude's a rocker. Rockers use electric types. I guess, because they use electric guitars? I don't know. I don't know what the mentality was there. I hope you're having fun. Watching a ground type fight the electric gem. You know, it's the pinnacle of entertainment. The pinnacle of difficulty. Come on, come all. But this is the problem with Lieutenant Surge's gym. Because it's like this in every playthrough. Because even in Red version, where you can't catch a Sandshrew, Diglett's cave is right next door, so you're always guaranteed to have a Diglett, who is ground type. Ground type, if you don't know, are immune to electric attacks. Electric types are weak to ground moves, as you've been seeing with Bone Club. Which I am using to not run out of power points on Bone Meringue, which only has 10. Saving Bone Meringue for Lieutenant Surge himself. And then I accidentally used it. Oh well, he actually took that first one. That was quite impressive, I must say. Pikachu isn't known for being defensy. Alright, so the gimmick to Lieutenant Surge's gym. You have to find a switch in one of these trash cans. When you find it, it'll activate a switch, which will be adjacent to the first switch. If you fail to find the second switch, then the entire thing resets. So, hope you find it on a quarter piece. That'll at least give you a 50-50 shot. Otherwise, it's doing this all over again. And guess what?
Dark! We're not gonna make it! Let's speed up!
Oh, it took me so long to finally find the damn thing. So long, in fact, that I couldn't speed it up properly without it looking absurd and just hard to follow, so I had to speed it up kind of twice. So that I could do that stupid joke where I put that music over the speed up. How many times am I going to do that in this playthrough, you think? There's a lot to speed up in Pokemon, unfortunately. Lest you watch a bunch of boring nothing. But Lieutenant Surge... yeah, he'll use X speed items. The X items, of course, raise their speed and are some of the best items in the game. Which is why I just sell them off, so that I'm not even tempted to use them. Because they're overpowered. Like, way overpowered. Yeah, Lieutenant Surge isn't even all that hard. his next thing is about the hardest thing he has, and it's not even really that difficult. Raichu, Pikachu's evolved form. And he'll use an X speed, which means it's inherently doomed to have... Maybe it doesn't have any moves. Maybe use an X speed because that's the only thing it can do with it. I don't know. Gen 1's programmed weird like that. Oh well. The most exciting thing to happen in this gym happened because of our tenacity with Cubone. Level 28. He will now evolve. And he's also 3 levels away from disobeying me again. Isn't that great? Marowak is so awesome. I mean, in terms of game design and balance, he's a terrible Pokemon, but he's so awesome looking. There's a reason they're my favorites. They just look good. And I like their little Bone Club gimmick, along with the gimmick moves they got. Alright, so, Thunderbolt. A TM that I definitely used my toolbox for, because it's one of the greatest moves. For now, we're giving this one to Critty. You can imagine we're toolboxing it onto Jolteon when we get him, because I already spoiled that he was in my party. And actually, thinking about it, there's a third thing that I teach it to. It's just, it's not a permanent teach. I'll explain more when we get there. For now, we're actually approaching the end of the video. We're done with Vermilion for now. We'll pass through here one more time, maybe twice. But for now, we're done. So, have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye.